Hello Capricorn, welcome to your monthly forecast. I'm Nicholas Ashbaugh. It's great to see all of you. This is going to help you navigate the next 6 to 8 weeks. And as always, we're going to begin with channeled messages. The first message from Spirit today is to get out of the autopilot mode. What I was shown in dreams was a car that was just traveling down, a paved highway, and there was this exit. And the exit basically looked like uncharted territory. I saw like a dirt road, not a lot of signs, but there was this inclination, this inspiration to see where that might lead. So some of you may have just been on one solid path for a long time, and maybe you haven't given yourself an opportunity to take an exit, to see what else is out there. So just getting out of autopilot mode and exploring opportunities is message number one. Some of you have already decided to go into a direction, pivot, do something unusual. And for those of you that are ready to make a big life change, the main thing that came through was preparation and contingency. Preparation, just doing research, seeing what's available to you, making sure that you've vetted out all of the options. The contingency piece is about making sure that you're not cutting yourself too short when it comes to deadlines, budget, and also just rest and energy within your own body and health as well. If you travel a lot, you know what I'm talking about. You don't want to have an itinerary that is so tight that there is no room for things like traffic or delays. You want to make sure that you have like travel insurance. So in everyday life, if you're going to make a major shift or move, you want to make sure that you have extra money, extra time, and that you know what you're doing. The planning and that confidence that's going to come from the planning is going to help you on the next leg of the journey. Okay? The chariot represents you being behind the wheel, not the car deciding, not a computer, not someone else, but you, the driver. And it is figurative here, but it's basically saying you're the one that decides whether or not to turn on the signal or to stay in the same lane. And there's no wrong answer here. It's just basically slow down for a second and make sure you like where you're at and you like where you're going. Next message was slow and steady. So even if you're not coming to a full stop, it is important to take your time, because what I was shown on that dirt path was some obstacles that could create roadblocks. But if you go slow enough, it's not going to blow out a tire or cause any significant delays. It's just going to require a little bit of a shift here, a little bit of a turn there, a little bit of extra time here, but you can still get to the destination. The Nine of Pentacles is a perfect example of this. Right there is a little snail, and it basically represents slow, steady progress. And then we have all of the abundance surrounding this person. So you have an opportunity right now to get through things with dignity, with grace, with also maybe new doors and opportunities presenting themselves to you because you're focusing on quality over speed. It's not the speed with which you do it, but it's the accuracy and the quality. The final thing that I saw in dreams was someone basically stepping on your coattails or trying to hitch a ride. It felt almost like piggybacking on your success. So the main takeaway here is, first of all, success is at hand. It feels like many of you are ready to take an exciting change or movement. Again, if we go back a couple of cards, you might be getting ready to do something new and exciting. You've done the work, you've created the contingency, slow and steady. Look at all the things that you're building up. Someone could look at this in your life and think, I just want to be a part of that, but I don't want to do the work. I just want to be with you when it happens, and through association, kind of reap the rewards. So make sure that you are really vetting out any partnerships that you might be involved in, having proper boundaries and limits. And at the end of the day, if you need to say no to someone, simply say no. It's a powerful statement. It's a single word, but it's also like a command. It's a boundary, and it is going to help you in the long run not get entangled with people that may not have your best interest at hand. Again, at the end of the day, I think many of you are on this exciting journey and you're ready to take this big leap into something new. So let's focus on that as we give the cards a shuffle and see what's in store for you in the month ahead. All right, let's get started with your Catalyst card. I love that we received an ash tree here in the Catalyst. Again, the Catalyst helps you make the necessary change or movement in your life. This reminds me a lot of what would be connected to the Hanged Man in tarot. And this is basically saying slow down, exactly what came through in dreams. Slow down and look at things from a different perspective. This is also like the tree of life that we would see on the 10 of Pentacles. That's what the pattern creates. So when you slow down long enough to see what's available, new resources, new ideas, new doors start to open. And then give yourself a moment to fully plant yourself where you're at, to ground your ideas. The roots on this are representing, maybe for some of you for the first time in a while, you're putting down roots in a new place or in a new job or something of that nature. And what we see here is great abundance coming forth. Even if you've been through a challenging period where there hasn't been stability or abundance, this symbol in the Catalyst is showing that by taking your time, by believing in yourself, by really being present, all of that is coming through in this month ahead. Let's take a look now at all of the cards and we'll go through this one by one. Let me just take some of the glare off there. Much better. We're going to start with your center. Actually, before we even get into the center card, I want to reiterate what I just said here. We have the 10 of Pentacles, and in this particular deck, the focus is on the tree, not just the pattern of the tree of life, but the tree itself. And part of 10 of Pentacles is also love, partnership, and new connections. So we'll look at that, but that's your outcome. And lo and behold, we have the World here in the near future. So basically, we're seeing things go bigger and better. And we're also seeing a lot of speed here. King of Swords, but he has a lot of Knight energy because he's on his horse. So I feel like there's a lot of speed, a lot of opportunity, manifestation as well. It's looking pretty exciting, folks. Okay, so this is a good month and a good, for those of you that are pivoting or those of you that are changing, a good time to do so. Yes, we have reversals, not all, but the reversals are basically, again, a chance to consider what's in front of you. Let's get started with your center card, the Sun. So in the upright position, the Sun can represent birthing, creation, the ability for things to really start to move, not just in the right direction, but start to move around you. It's a magnetic card. One of the things that you may be pulling or calling into your life is partnerships. So this is one of maybe half a dozen decks that I have that have lovers on them. The other one that comes to mind is the Morgan Greer deck. When we see love coming through on the Sun card, it's typically higher energy. This is someone who has some of the same interests as you, a kindred spirit, if you will, kindred soul, and a lot of fun to be around. So you could be pulling in just a really great friendship or partnership. The reversal of this card carries with it a few nuances. One is very good news. It's basically an indication that it's time to let something go. So if you've been working on something for a while and waiting for a sign, thinking like, can I do it? Is it going to be okay? This usually is an indication that it may even be overdue for you to release something. So a good time to launch, announce, or let go of something in your life. This is also a card of personal development. So this can represent self or ego. And so when it's reversed, it's saying, I want to work on, like, it could be education, it could be physical fitness, it could be letting go of some of the emotional stuff that you've been holding on to, and just basically getting yourself in the best version of you. And that is always a good thing to do. The Sun card is also one of power. And when the card is reversed, it's a reminder, just like I was featuring the Chariot, that you have the capacity to not just like a magnet bring things into your life, but really manifest. Because when I'm looking at hopes, fears, and opportunity, we have High Priestess energy coming forth. So don't underestimate your power, your potential, or your charisma, especially as we're looking at the spread in front of us. Everything really looks exciting. By the way, this can be a new child. We have a family card here. This can be expansion. This can also be a child going to college, or I mentioned for some of you, you're looking at education yourself. So let's talk about that. If we take a moment here and look at the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith version of the card, we see some of the important tenets here. First and foremost is attention to detail and quality. This results in recognition, and ultimately this is showing that you have mastered a certain craft or skill, or you've absorbed a certain amount of knowledge, and that is going to bode well. So for those that are thinking of getting training, education, doing an apprenticeship or some sort of an internship, yes, yes, and yes. If you're looking at a strategic partnership, this is also very good. Remember what I said earlier, just vet and research everything before getting into it. But when we're looking at something in school, business, or training, I quite like that. The other thing here is this is related to writing and creating, and the creative element is more a part of this particular illustration. So we see someone here spray painting, doing something that is unconventional but gets attention, and this could be one of the ways that you can get success, not through spray painting. This is just an example here, but it's basically by doing something with a bold approach, using your own voice, using your own skills, and that will garner attention. And also using new forms of media. So we are in a time right now where it's not just traditional media. Social media is really important. Getting things out there on a digital platform as well. So there are many ways to publish and distribute. And for those of you that want to put a product or a project out there, think about those as well. Okay, let's look at what's coming through in the deep past karmically and energetically. Seven of Wands. I love this because you can infer by the fact that we're at the 7 that you've already gone through a successful moment. I mentioned that it felt like success is at hand, so this is doubling down on that message. When you do well, what we see here happens. People start coming up and saying, can I have some of your time? Do you want to do this? Or they just put more on your plate because they assume you did that before. Now you can do this and maybe, then some. So what we see her doing here is using the word no, or saying not now, or I'm going to delegate this, really being more of a boss. And many of you are having a chance this month to step up to the plate if you're ready, if you're willing, and if you're ready, okay? Work smarter, not harder. Be strategic, and don't feel like you have to get defensive. No means no, and you don't have to over-explain it. And there are many ways to say the no. You can say, like I said, not now, or how about tomorrow, or are you willing to help me do this? If so, I think we can get it done together. So also be strategic in the way that you say no, and that can help you out as well. This can also be a card for those of you that are working on building up your strength. So you might be recovering from, surgery, or you may be working on even building up your confidence, because I get that sort of strength training energy here. Try not to overdo it. If you are doing physical fitness, this is about pacing yourself, making sure that you don't sort of like pull a muscle, etc. Okay, recent past. Many of you are looking at how much you've invested in something and questioning, was it worth it? And, this is a very sort of subjective thing. You'll have to weigh out all the different things. But so we have the Prince of Pentacles, which is the Knight of Pentacles in reverse. Anytime a knight is reversed, they're looking, it's exactly what we talked about in the dreams. Hitting the brake for a second and saying, how much did it cost to get here? How much will it cost to finish? And when I'm saying cost, energetically, emotionally, financially, etc. And is this what I want? And if it is, then you're going to put your foot back on the gas and finish up what you started. If not, you're going to take the pivot, okay? This is also you being willing to ask for more if you need it. So maybe if you're starting up a business, you need a loan. Maybe if you are overworked, you say, I need some assistance in order to get this done because there are only so many hours in a day and only so much that I can do to bring this to the finish line. So if you do need to sort of put your foot down, this is interesting. That's a turn of phrase, but when we're looking at the roots of a tree, that's basically what's happening here. Someone putting their foot down and reaching out and asking for support. There is support here because the alternative isn't worth it. We have exhaustion here and also sort of burnout. So I think it's important and timely and even appropriate to lean into the network of people around you, including right here. So we have partnership in the Sun card, we have partnership in the Ten of Pentacles card, and we have two of the most persuasive cards, the Magician and the High Priestess. So I feel like if you need it, you have a good chance of manifesting it. It's just a matter of standing your ground, putting your foot down, really standing still and saying, this is what's necessary. So that's also what the ash tree is representing. All right, let's see what's going on in the crowning position. Four of Cups, it's a chance to look at something from a different perspective. Some of you are wondering, like, when is my ship coming in? When are things going to be okay? The Four of Cups is sometimes a blessing in disguise or a missed opportunity. So that is why I think there's been so many messages today, and again, it's going to be for the month ahead, to slow down and look around. She is not seeing this floating ace right above her head. There could be love, there could be partnership, there could be something better. But if she's sort of stuck in the moment or stuck in an emotion, she's not going to be able to seize the opportunity or see the opportunity. So I think it's really about taking stock of things and trying to find the silver lining and trying to make the most of this situation at this moment in time. Don't compare yourself to other people. It really, at the end of the day, it doesn't really solve a lot. In fact, more often than not, it just frustrates you because you may think it happens so quickly for them, but you don't know what they did up to this point or in a previous lifetime or what challenges they've already been through. You're only seeing like one facet of it. So focus instead on what you can do and what's available to you. It's going to help speed you along your own path, and you'll be happier at the end of the day. All right, we got two cards that stuck together for the near future. They're both good. Let's talk about them. The presenting, the first card was the King of Swords, and the King of Swords is reversed. This is one of the most direct and active and powerful kings you can get. Even in the upright position, the King of Swords is a force to be reckoned with. Very good at communication, but when reversed, very concise. So this is a moment where you may be asked simply a yes or no kind of decision or question, and you're going to have to do your best to be as brief and concise and clear as possible. So that's message number one. It's also time to take action. So again, this is birthing. This is something that's overdue. This is communicating. This is communicating and acting now. So I get a sense of immediacy and not necessarily urgency, but definitely like a timeline. The time is now to take action, to speak up, to make it happen. You can say no. You can redline something and also say, the only way I'm going to do it is this. Put your wishes out there in no uncertain terms, unambiguous, as clear as possible. All right, that, my friends, will open up the universe in this deck, but the world in most. But this is going even bigger than the world, right? The universe is beyond. So this is your chance to really reach out and expand something beyond your expectations. So traditionally what the world represents is publication, distribution, completion, expansion, realization. It's also the end and the beginning of something bigger. When it's reversed, it can happen with such speed that it takes you by surprise. You may have thought to yourself, well, I'm going to do this and I'm going to do that. And the universe shuffles it up and says, no, you're going to do this first and then maybe this. And so if you're open to be more flexible with timelines and to be a little bit more open with how things and when things show up, then you're going to be okay. If you feel topsy-turvy, take a moment, meditate, ground yourself, and remind yourself why you're working so hard, and also that you're deserving of whatever comes through. Because in the upright position, these are fantastic cards: completion and abundance, and this is, like I said, expansion. So I'm getting that for some of you, it could just be disbelief that it's happening so quickly. Or, maybe even this Four of Cups could be about, am I really okay? Like, do I deserve this? It could be imposter syndrome, right? Like when you start to doubt yourself. So don't let the inner saboteur block progress or keep you from accomplishing this great thing that I'm seeing here with the King of Swords and the World card. Not surprisingly, you're showing up in a really great way this month. The Magician is a representation of your ability to manifest, to organize, to attract, to make it happen. But magic only works if you believe in it. So when you're working your own sort of magic, and this is manifestation here, we also have the High Priestess, it's going to be important for you to have faith and belief in yourself. Because if you don't, it's going to be very hard for others to believe in you. So focus on self-confidence, clarity of vision, believing in yourself, and then simply roll up your sleeves and make it happen, okay? This is really, really amazing energy here coming forth. I think the only thing here also, magicians are capable of doing just about anything, but sometimes that can get distracting too. So I always say this: follow the energy. See where it is that you're making the easiest and most progress, and go there if you have a hard time deciding. But we don't have to focus too much on this other than saying you can make it work this month. I have a very clear green light. The sun is a magnet, the magician is a magnet, the high priestess is a magnet. That's the center card. This is you, and this is possibilities. So it's in the mix everywhere. The only challenge is actually in the environment. 10 of Swords. This is someone that's trying to get you to take the bait. It could be someone that puts an insult your way or a piece of criticism without any constructive element. They're trying to deflate your balloon, your ego. And you're not going to take the bait. That's my advice. Because the Sun card in reverse is also saying, know thyself. Don't take this for more than it needs to be. It's an opinion. It's a verbal spar that someone threw your way. You're not going, well, you shouldn't have to basically take the bait here. Take the high road. If we go back into the imagery of the car, because what Spirit's showing me is like crash and burn. They're trying to get you to do just that, to basically sort of like self-destruct. So through words or actions, don't do that. Your car is on a safe path, and your trajectory, like we talked about, is a fruitful card here, the 10 of Pentacles. This could just be jealousy. This is the coattails thing, because I saw them stepping on your coattail, but I didn't think that they could also be just trying to stop you from moving forward. So if you have someone around you that has that toxic trait, just don't engage. That's my first piece of advice. Now we can abstract this because not all of us have that kind of energy around us. This can just be burnout, folks. A job, an activity, something in your life that is taking so much that you're just like, I'm done. And that in and of itself is something to be grateful for, the clarity that it's over. This card doesn't get any worse than what's present. So whatever it is that triggers you, you can rest assured that's it. And then be grateful, like whether it was a hurtful word or just like you get sick and tired of something, maybe even literally sick and tired. Once that's done, then you can say enough now, because I want to be healthy, I want to be happy, and this doesn't add to the equation in a meaningful way. Okay? So release toxic people, places, and things in the environment. Don't take the bait, take the high road, and don't let someone distract you, because figuratively speaking, they want you to crash and burn, and you're not going to do that. That's why you tuned in today, and I'm going to help you stay on the path if you want to. All right. We have another card here that is both positive and somewhat stuck in disbelief. This is one of the best manifestation cards, full stop. Because if you can see it, you can do it. That's the High Priestess. And when she's reversed, she knows what to do, but she doesn't follow through. So that's the only thing you need to avoid. Listen to your intuition, trust in your research, trust in your instincts, and don't let whatever it is here somehow inhibit all of the aforementioned. You know best in this situation, okay? Give yourself more time to explore things like creative endeavors. So the school card here, or the education card, combined with this could be a decision to further your intuitive gifts, to go into something like music or art if you want. This can be like a hobby. It doesn't have to be professional. So maybe you always wanted to learn to play an instrument, or you want to join a chorus or a choral group or something like that. Yes, yes, yes. Because this is going to connect you to your spirit, to your higher self, and you're going to be able to basically, it's going to increase your magnetism. The Sun, the Magician, and the High Priestess cards are working as like this holy trinity of energy to pull more opportunity into your path. Please do that. You owe it to yourself. We have a great card in the outcome. And for many of you, it's just a chance. Like I get that you might be in the middle of a move. So this will eventually be what you have, but there's this uprooting that is happening, and you have to give yourself a moment to get your sea legs, get sort of situated, and that's what we have here. Part of that can be simply leaning on friends and family, or making new friends wherever it is that you decide to relocate, or in whatever new activity you find yourself in. I think one of the most important things that keeps coming through here is slow down long enough to see who's there. There are many people that have your back or are showing interest in connecting with you. I mentioned the people that have been there all along. This is just a chance to sort of like say thank you and I love you to those people, and maybe develop some relationships even a little bit deeper than you already have. Let's go ahead now, and we're going to expand this a little bit deeper. We'll look at health, wealth, love, and destiny. We're going to start off with health messages first. This is your mind, your body, and your spirit. And as we take a look at the oracle card here, we have Mystic Meadow Sanctuary. What this is basically indicating is the importance of taking a small break. Not all of us can afford a long vacation. Some of us, myself included, if you own your own business, you don't get paid vacation. But what I do is I try to build in time in my schedule where I can get out, spend time with friends, or get out into nature. I did a hike today, and take care of myself. So whenever you're listening to this video, the message from Spirit is today, carve out 10 to 15 minutes. All of us can do that. We spend that much time scrolling on, TikTok or something. So give yourself 10 or 15 minutes, take a walk, go sit outside on a bench, go read a book, whatever it is that allows you to feel this sense of peace, tranquility, or meditation. If you're really busy and the only time you can do that is maybe when you're taking a bath or a shower, that works too. Just give yourself a few moments to let it all go and just feel that sense of, okay, I can breathe. If you can connect with nature, we have the sanctuary card, by all means do that. But sanctuary for some of us could also be a library. It could be hanging out with your friends at a cafe or something like that. But carve out some time, because we do see other people on this card. It isn't like a hermit energy. Find something that feels like it's a sanctuary to you. And some of you have just denied yourself that special time just for you and the ones that you love the most, okay? So when we're looking at work-life balance, getting back into something that's about health, some of you are denying that very important piece of the pie of mental health, which is something that makes you feel safe, some time to yourself, some time to the people, with the people that mean the most to you. So please prioritize that. You're worth it. Let's go ahead and look at the general spread here and see what else is coming through from a health perspective. So the Sun card at the center can represent childbirth. The Ten of Swords can actually be, for those of you that just had a baby, this can be your body recovering. For everybody else, this is also recovery and recalibration. So if you've been working too many hours, you can get sick. That can be the Ten of Swords. If you just got out of a really long relationship, or there was some sort of not so great exchange verbally, this can also just be emotional healing. No matter how you look at it, many of you are dealing with healing and regrouping after something that was significantly difficult. Please give yourself the time that you need. The other thing that I saw here was you might be pushing yourself too much, or someone else might be pushing you. So make sure that you don't overdo things physically. Like this is working out too much or pushing your energy too much to the point that you just can't finish what you've started. So know your limits, say no, take care of your body and your emotions this month. Really, really important. I also get throat chakra activation with the King of Swords in reverse. So for those of you that have to do a lot of speaking or singing or working of the vocal cords, be mindful also of the limits there. This is also something that needs rest and needs to be taken care of. So for those of you that are watching me and you're a singer or a public speaker, or you've been to a concert and you just scream too much, give yourself a chance for your throat to heal. Quiet time is important there. Let me see what else we're looking at here. I love that there are two cards of healing and manifestation, and they're bookending this. Whatever this is, you can actually surpass your expectations, or maybe even a doctor's expectations. There is a little bit of a level of mind over matter and positivity enhancing the recovery. So stay as positive as possible. We also see two different insights here. If you need to get a second opinion, by all means do that. Overall, I quite like what I'm seeing here, and I think we hit on the main things there. I think that also this month, like I said at the beginning, if you don't already have a meditation practice, please give yourself a chance to slow down and be present. That's going to help you, again, see the opportunities that are presenting themselves to you. Things are maybe better than they seem at first glance, okay? Pretty good overall when we're looking at health. aside from overworking or perhaps something toxic in the environment, this is the time to address that so you can embrace the positives. Let's go ahead and move on to some of the positives which are coming through in wealth. So let's look at your oracle card first. We have here trustworthy friends. Let's go back for a second. I'll pull that card up while we're talking about this. So if you remember, by the way, this was reversed. I said earlier that it was going to be really important to vet out who you can trust. So someone might be trying to slow you down or ride on your coattails or take advantage of you. But then there are people that do have your back, and we saw them come through time and again. For some of you, it was present here in the Sun card, right? For some of you, it's in the Ten of Pentacles, okay? But if there's someone new, because they came through in the dream that I had as sort of like a hitchhiker or someone that I hadn't seen, make sure that you get to know them first, and that, and again, you understand what their sort of angle is, what they're trying to get out of that. Let's read the caption on this. It says, "Thank you, angels, for surrounding me with people that I can trust and I can love." Lean on those existing networks and also get their opinions on some of the new maybe projects or partnerships that you might be exploring, especially the ones that are frank and honest. This King of Swords can be a person in your environment, an air sign or someone that just really has a good moral compass and has their feet on the ground, and you know that they're going to, be no nonsense. Ask them if you have that kind of person in your life. All right, let's look at the cards here. We're going to focus on it from 3 different perspectives: those that are working, seeking employment, and then I grouped together students and retirees. If you have a job, the main challenge is not to overwork. The reason that this might happen is you're on the heels of success. Like 6 of Wands already happened. People are putting one too many things on your plate. You're going to speak up and say no. You have a chance to step into leadership. I really feel like a lot of positive can happen here with the universe, aka the world, the magician, and the high priestess. You may have more than one thing that's sort of bubbling over on your creative pot at once. So focus on that and make sure that you don't overextend. Sorry, this card is actually upright. Make sure that you don't overextend this month. We also see that the power of the magician is to march to the beat of their own drum. So we saw that too in the 3 of Pentacles. The spray painting is very artistic, very unexpected. So your own flair is what's going to make you stand out even in an existing job where you've been for a while. So use your voice, show your true colors, march to the beat of your own drum, and say no when people try to put too much on your plate. If you do that, we have success in the outcome. Now, we're going to look at this from a different perspective here in this special part of the expanded forecast. This is sometimes peer or familial pressure. So peer pressure being your coworkers, family and society being the familial piece. Someone may be trying to get you to go down a path that you don't want to do. Sometimes it's because you're doing such a great job. Maybe you don't want to be a manager or a boss or go to the next level. You don't have to. Figure out what it is that you want. That's why I said at the very beginning that this is the month to get out of autopilot. Now it's starting to make sense. You have to want the next thing that's coming. Success is right around the corner, but you have to make sure that you're defining what success is for you, okay? So don't do the path simply because it's expected or something, you're being pressured. Do it because it feels authentic. Don't be afraid to ask for more. This is a very auspicious card here, and this is like get it in writing too. So a handshake is not enough. Make sure you're getting something in writing. If you like where you're at, you have a chance to step up, and I see good things coming from that. If you don't want that, you can actually manifest something new. And I feel like we talked about just about everything here. I do see a move for some of you. There could be a chance, if you're looking for advancement, it may come with relocation. And I didn't really talk about relocation too much in the general spread, but yes, this is a chance to make a move happen if you want. All right, so let's go ahead and shift to those that are job seeking right now. The main thing here is, for some of you, it's almost like you need a pep talk or you need a little bit of support. So in this case, this could be leaning on friends and family for some support, and also just realizing that others see your worth. But if you don't, it's going to be hard to manifest. So I really feel like the key thing here is confidence building. And then looking in more than one direction. We have 2 manifestation cards. There might be 2 different paths that you're going to explore in tandem at once. And then you go, like I said earlier, where the energy is. Don't limit yourself to just one way of thinking or doing. And definitely explore things that are not in your immediate geography or vicinity. The World card can be somewhere else. It's also saying take it to a higher level. Some of you want to go back to school? Yes. By the way, this is also good for those of you that are working, but especially for those of you that are looking for new work. Maybe you're going to take a pause and pivot and go back to school. If your finances allow and the time and energy is there, by all means, yes. What else is going on here? I feel like this is the first time maybe that you're actually getting comfortable talking about money, because the Knight of Pentacles in reverse is seeing the worth, seeing where there may not have been the sort of appreciation before, and making sure that it comes through this time. When and where can you find it? Well, it can happen almost immediately here with these two manifestation cards, but it may not be where you're at. So I feel like it is time to move on from where you're looking to somewhere else. So it can be figuratively like a different career path, or it could be geographically a different area. So you have my encouragement, if you want to just try something completely different or repackage yourself and try going somewhere else. That's what I'm seeing here. You would probably find it also from existing, this can be alumni sort of connections for those of you that went to school. It doesn't have to just be college. It can be like high school, college, or any sort of activity-based, group of people. You could tap into that. This would be immediate friends and family. This would be former coworkers. So your existing network will help you more maybe than your own plans too. It's just a matter of articulating what you're looking for and being a little bit pushy there. This is the time to be pushy. This can be other people pushing things on you, but this can also be you speaking up and showing an assertive nature. You've got it within your capacity here. It's just a matter of speaking up. Let's now shift gears and take a look at students, then retirees. For students, I love that we got the Three of Pentacles here. Keep up the hard work. Finish what you've started. That's the main message here. And we also see that this is a really enriching and important moment. Yes, all good here. Some of you are deciding to perhaps pursue a career where you're doing more with your public speaking, or you might want to write or publish something. I'm all for that. Literally, these two cards together would show publishing and distribution. There are two things that you want to be focusing on right now. Don't put too much pressure on yourself. The Ten of Swords can just be a fear of failure. This is the one part in your life where it's okay to take risks and maybe make mistakes, because you can bounce back easier. So if you are going to fail, the time to do it is when you are in school, because you can learn, it can be constructive. It's not the end all be all. So please don't let the fear of failure hold you back from trying something new, especially at this early juncture. Okay, so that's one thing. This can be burnout. If that's the case, lighten the load. Do less, but do it better. Take fewer credit hours. Say no to some extracurricular activities. And I can see that there's a lot of pull from friends and family and others, so push back if you need to. We have a lot of creative cards here with the Magician and the High Priestess, so being able to exercise those creative muscles are important. Let's go ahead and focus now on the retirees. I want to start off with the center card here. We have that Sun card in the reverse state. This is saying you get to reinvent yourself. And this is why these two groups are put together, students and retirees, because at the beginning, like the sky's the limit. And once you've gone through school and lots of life experiences and you've decided to move beyond the sort of traditional working world, you also know, what have you got to lose? Give it a shot. Have some fun. You don't need to worry about this pressure here in the Ten of Swords. You may also be looking at your life from a different lens, thinking, if not now, then when? Absolutely. I agree with that. The things that are coming through as priorities, making some new friends, and possibly learning something brand new. Education can happen anywhere. So we have creative cards here. So this could be dancing, singing, writing, painting, any sort of creative activity connected also now with the Three of Pentacles. So yes to that. We see you possibly getting involved in more groups or organizations so that you can meet new people. It's more for the people than just the organizations, but if you want to give back to the world as well, yes. But I see education and growing the network and not worrying so much about failure. That's the main thing for both students and retirees, but especially retirees. And not comparing yourself to anybody else but you. Speak up, try some new things. If you want to travel, travel, but I'm actually growing the network and learning as the main focal points here. Let's go ahead and move on to love and relationships. So we have the Anunnaki light codes coming through in the reverse state. Let's look at this in the upright position so I can read it. It says, energetic shift, new information, end of a cycle. Well, absolutely, because you actually got the universe or the world card coming through. So big changes with respect to relationships. Let's break it down into 3 categories: those in love or in a relationship, looking for love, or happily single. If you are in a relationship, what we just talked about here, a big change that's already underway. It's also about speaking to your partner about what it is that you want, and also just talking about the changes of heart, changes of direction, new things that might be happening in career and education, all of that. What's the challenge right now? Burnout, or possibly even an argument, someone that said something that was hurtful and it's just sitting there, but nobody's really kind of like coming back and saying, I'm sorry, or what did you mean by that, or all of the above. So open communication is going to be really, really important here. But this is more in the environment. So I just think that one or both of you may be run down, maybe even a little bit sick, or sick and tired, literally or figuratively. We have a divine partnership with the Magician and the High Priestess. Together, the two of you are unstoppable. But if you let this, whatever that 10 of Swords moment is, come between you, you could be making something bigger than it needs to be. I mentioned earlier there could be a birth of a new child, or your child could be going to college. Either way, it's a big change. It's either the beginning of that sort of family or the empty nest sort of thing. And again, this is when communication becomes doubly as important. Other things that I see in relationships: pressure to get married from friends and family. It's between the two of you. You should feel it. And only if and when you're ready to do that should you kind of go down that path. Just in general, a lot of pressure and a lot of fear. So don't let that inhibit what is otherwise, an overall pretty decent spread here. So let's go ahead and move on now from those in love to those looking for love. We have a King of Swords, a strong air sign coming through. We also have your ability to manifest what you're looking for. I get the feeling that they're not from your existing sort of friends and family group. They could be from another city, state, country, or province. They could just have a worldly view. We like that. They are outspoken. They are quick to sort of like engage in conversation, might even make the first move. So if you're looking for love, I get a bold energy coming forth. The only challenge right now is your own health, happiness, and well-being. So take care of yourself, because if you work too hard, or you're putting too much pressure on yourself, or you're afraid to put yourself out there, those are the only things that could inhibit this. The person may be really keen on getting settled quickly. So, we have 2 trees, we have, 2 manifestation cards, we have a couple of love cards. So I feel like things could happen quickly if you're ready and you're open for that, okay? Those that are single and happy, good for you. I feel like single and happy, all that I was talking about with students and retirees comes forth for you as well. But the High Priestess one is what I'm focusing on right now. So I really think that you can start to engage more with creativity and intuition right now, and especially when it comes to abundance in your life. So if you've ever felt challenged, like, I wish I had more, I wish I could do this, now is the time to put the energy into that wishing well and really start to see things coming through. Let's go ahead now and look at the final part of the expanded forecast, which is destiny. It's an end to lack. So we have the desert card reversed. So the reverse of the desert would be like a lush jungle where there's abundance, like what we'd see basically on the King or Queen of Pentacles. If there's something that's lacking, speak up. We can also think of the Queen of Wands, who thrives in the desert. She doesn't care that nothing's there. She creates something new. So if you don't see it, create it. If you need something, ask, and know that you are just about at the sort of precipice of change and movement, because we have an expansive card here, we have an abundant card here, and we have manifestation here. So this is very much in the past, okay? Let's go ahead now and look at Sun, Rising, and Moon sign messages. All right. Capricorn Sun, Capricorn Rising, Capricorn Moon. Here we go. For Sun, here's what we've got. We have the Hierophant in the reverse state. Hierophant is typically very, very organized and structured. We have yet another tree. And basically, when this card is reversed, you are uprooting expectations. You are upending other people's sort of vision of what should or could be. It's a bit rebellious. Part of this goes back to what we were talking about at the very beginning, which is turning off autopilot and exploring all that is out there. This can be a little bit uncomfortable for people that like everything mapped out. So I think it's about striking the happy balance between being organized and having a plan, and then also taking some calculated risks. At the end of the day, what we're really getting to is your authentic path. It's something that you and you alone can create. So be a little bit unconventional, be a little bit unexpected. Don't completely fly by the seat of your pants, have some sort of a plan, but if that plan doesn't meet other people's expectations, so be it. You've got one chance to live this lifetime, make the most of it, okay? Let's go ahead and look at rising and ascendant. Patience is key. So Capricorn ascendant, many of you may just simply be wishing that everything could happen all at once. Temperance is about taking one step at a time. And remember the second slide that I had, which was you can overcome a potential roadblock by simply not speeding, by taking in everything and seeing it 2 or 3 steps ahead of time and trusting in that intuitive vibe as you get it, okay? So there's no rush, that's the first thing here. And the other thing here is that you don't have to sort of like consume everything all at once. So it's taking in the moment. For those of you that are, I'm reading for Capricorn, so there's a lot of focus on achievement. This is about experience. So whether it's going to school or starting like dating someone or just embarking on the beginnings of something new, that is the most exciting part, because that's when there's so many possibilities. That's where the butterflies are. So take a moment to just breathe and drink in this instant, this experience. Capricorn Moon, you have the Ace of Pentacles, but it is reversed. So some of you are saying, I need or I want this. You're just starting to learn to engage with the King of Swords and express yourself. You're also learning that you don't have to put a cap on what's possible. Let someone else say yes or no, or just how much they're willing to give or how much they believe in you. Don't cap something unnecessarily. This is also about realizing that in order for something to grow, you have to nurture it. So if there's something that you care about, free up your schedule, free up your resources, free up your attention, and put the time and energy behind it that it really deserves. Let's now take a look at your final question for me. This can be anything that you need some additional insight in, and we'll give the cards a shuffle and see what Spirit has to say on that. All right, lots of reversals today, but lots of positive cards. The Three of Wands in the upright position basically is a card of almost instantaneous manifestation. Ships are coming in. But in the reverse state, we're looking at how much you're literally here juggling at once. I mentioned this for students, but it could be holding true for all of you, where you're just overextended. So if you put down one of those wands, you get back into the visionary energy of the Two of Wands, which will help you see what you want and what's coming through. So please take a moment to take a step back, put some things down from your schedule, clear out some time, and yes, you can accomplish what you're trying to do. As a yes or no, this is yes, comma, but make sure that you're looking at all of the possible avenues, because when the Three of Wands is reversed, you're only looking in one direction rather than being open to all, or be open to a different timeline. It could happen like that, a drop of a hat. It doesn't have to happen a week, a month, or a day from now. It could be happening right here, right now. So that's the message there. The timing is unexpected, the shape or form is unexpected, and you may have one or too many things on your plate, so just let go a little bit, okay? That, my friends, is everything for today. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, a quick way to show some love and support is by liking and subscribing. You can also share this with someone that you think might enjoy it. I just want to say in advance, thank you for doing that. Feel free to give me a follow on other social media platforms. It's always my full name, Nicholas Ashbaugh, on all of those. Remember, I don't offer private readings. I don't use direct messages. So if somebody does that, you can block and report and feel, certain that that wasn't me. So I just wanted to give a heads up there. If you want to show support, you can do it right here on YouTube through a super sticker, super chat, or a membership. Thank you again for being the best part of what I do here on YouTube. Wouldn't be here without your love and support, and I really appreciate it. Take care, and until I see you again, all the best.